blastmusic247.com. We're changing the industry, one artist at a time.
Take those steps beyond your way. Take those steps when you have a dream. You gotta start. It's the only way. If you're gonna shine, and you're gonna shine, shine, shine. You're gonna shine. And we are shining bright on the ranch. Oh, we are snowed in, and there is nothing better to do than catch up with some of our fellow musicians. And that's what we're going to do today. And we are brought to you by Blast Music 24/7, your one stop for all indie artists. And boy, Blast Music, we got some great things going on. So stay tuned for that. If you want to find new music, you got to go to Blast Music. If you're an indie artist, you want your stuff up there because it's about to explode. It's going really, it's doing some really cool things. So we also have our radio affiliates, My Indie Radio out in Paris, which we all love our listeners. And then we have Plow Zone out in California. Again, love you guys. And I hope you're having better weather than we are right now because it's just crazy here. Crazy with snow. And there's two more storms coming after this one. So yeah, stay tuned for all that nonsense. So again, we got some big things happening tonight. Also Hotel Universe always is affiliate of ours and always great to indie artists for all your video needs. But today we are catching up with some of our past people that had really cool projects going on. So we want to catch up with Melody DeBraux. And last time, Melody.
Hi.
Hello. I got my sound effects now. They're just kind of easy to get to. I feel like I'm fumbling around. Okay. So we got some great things that we need to catch up on, girl. What have you been up to?
Absolutely. We recently released a short film that was based on the song that I wrote, You Do You, and the music video that was released that we talked about a few months back. So because the acting was so good and the scenes that were played out during the filming of the music video, the producers decided to make a short film with it and said, yeah, we're going to, create a storyline and edit it together. And so they put together a short film and we submitted it to film festivals. It did pretty well. You Do You won Best Song in one out of Atlanta, and we got some laureates out of film festivals in LA. We also got nominated for Best Director at the Orlando Urban Film Festival, and that was exciting because I got to perform there. So it's just been a really neat journey. So we recently released it. It was kind of hidden and nobody had seen it yet, aside from people that I had shown it on, my phone. And it's just really exciting to have it out there.
It is exciting. It's exciting because I love doing music videos. This is music video on steroids.
Pretty much. I think the whole idea behind it was maybe, to create a storyline and a longer music video, so to speak. Kind of like if you remember like the music video for Guns N' Roses' November Rain.
Right.
It was like a long, played out story, and then the song appeared within the music video, and that's kind of what we were going after.
And it also is the power of a song.
Mm-hmm.
They say it takes one song to kind of break out, to get noticed, and here out of the blue, some filmmaker listens to a song and like, let's do something with this.
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, initially it was just a music video project, and it turned into a film project, which was, pretty awesome to have that come into play.
Is there a length, maybe you don't know the answer, a length that would they consider it? All right, it went from music video to film. Is there a length of time that has the film has to be considered like a movie or a film or?
I think with short films, I would say that the average short film is maybe between like, I guess they're kind of a bit all over the place, and I don't know that there are any rules per se around it. I'm not enough of a movie connoisseur, but ours was 14 minutes long, 13 or 14 minutes long. And I think a lot of short films average like around 20, maybe, 30 minutes long. So
Yeah. I'm trying to go back to Thriller. How long was Thriller? It was something like 14 minutes, wasn't it?
yeah, it was a pretty long video.
Yeah, and that was kind of a, same, topic. They kind of took a song and kind of blew it up into this, um, big release with
Yeah,
dancing.
it was cool to make a music video of that length, and it was neat to see my life played out by a couple of actors and just from somebody else's perspective as far as writing a script and filming it goes. But it very much played into the storyline behind the song, and yeah, the acting was phenomenal. So I was really proud of the project.
I can't wait to see. I can't wait. So refresh your memory about the song. How did this song even come about? For those who haven't seen the last show.
You Do You was a breakup song. I'm very good at writing those sad and, lovey-dovey ballads, but it was kind of my way of getting over a relationship. And I think when I write in an effort to relate to, to relate to other people who have gone through the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I really loved the melody, and I had written the lyrics, like I had started the lyrics on this song like years ago, probably 10 years before. And I was playing the piano and found a really good melody and, chords that kind of, not to be cheesy, but they kind of touched my soul, and the song came to be. And I started with those lyrics that I had on paper for years and years on end and completed the song, which is kind of a lot of the time, the way I write. I can go a fairly long amount of time without writing music, and then I feel like when I start again, that's some of my best work.
Now, it didn't take you 10 years to break up with them, right?
No way. I think the breakup sparked my wanting to write about it, though. I don't know that I had ever written a breakup song.
Oh my gosh, I'm the opposite. I have never written a love song, and I have a plethora of like breakup, you did me wrong songs,
That's too funny.
I have to look at my playlist, like, because we're going to throw in some covers in our sets, and we're going to do like a Linda Ronstadt, You're So Bad. I'm like thinking about this, like, oh my God, I'm going to come off like a man hater. Like, if I don't tone this down, like.
It's a good way to get over a relationship, and it's a good outlet, while at the same time, kind of, I think people can really relate to it. Everybody's gone through a breakup, almost everybody anyway. And so
we don't have so many childhood sweethearts anymore. They're still around.
They are. Funnily enough, there are several that I graduated from high school with that are still married today, and it's very impressive.
Really? That is impressive. I'm trying to think if I know of any. Off the top of my head, I can't.
But you're right. It's not that common anymore.
No, you used to hear about it a lot more. And, even for counseling, I would tell my friends that they maybe come in so traumatized, they broke up with their boyfriend, and I'm like, are you going to really meet your husband in high school? And they're like, no, I'm going to college. And I'm like, get to class,
No kidding. I mean, yeah, I don't know. When I was in high school, I was ready to move on once I hit college. I think that's just, it's good to kind of learn yourself and discover who you are and find somebody that complements that. And, say if you go back to your high school sweetheart, more power to you. But yeah, that never happened for me, sadly.
Yeah, I reached out to some people on Facebook, and they're really, I don't know. It wasn't that magic of going back. Now that's how sometimes I've heard of that. People break up and, they go back to someone they met in high school and things like that. I don't know.
I tried no, I tried once dating someone from high school, and yeah, it didn't work out at all. It worked out. Yeah, it didn't work out at all.
Yeah, I met someone too, and we were good friends, and he was like, "Yeah, good to see you. Bye now." Like.
That's too funny. I don't know. I feel like now that my kids are older and, I've been single for probably a good 10 years, maybe even longer than that. And I saw a reel where Carol Burnett was like, yeah, sure. I'd love to meet someone and, have a long-term relationship with someone, but maybe they can live down the street because I'm used to my way. So
Oh, I have a joke, and it's not even a joke. It would take a lot for me to share my closets.
a lot for yes.
I have them
Yes.
just the way I want them, and for someone to come in and claim space, I don't know. They'd have to be pretty special.
I agree. And I think that's okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I envelop myself in my music and work and my kids, and I just feel like when the time comes, God will put the right person in my sight. But for the time being, I'll write music about the breakups, and I have been inspired to write love songs from old relationships, so maybe that'll spark up again sometime soon. But
Maybe you're a hopeful romantic.
always, always, you never know.
You'll never know, girl. You know, you know,
I feel like, I'm in a place where if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, and the right person will come to my life, come in my life at the right time.
right. I find if I'm looking too hard, it's not going to happen, so I try to do it on the down low, go out, make sure I meet people.
Are you still gigging a lot? You said you're singing with a band?
I am. I do have a band together. Been really busy for the last 2 years. Like I just really dug in, hit the ground. And now I feel like I need to come up for air.
I hear you.
I've been working on an online songwriting course that I'm about to launch. I'm so excited about it. I want to put a songwriting community together, start some, 'cause I do a lot of wellness, mindfulness. So I want to do some retreats, songwriting, wellness type retreats.
I see your Mindful Mondays, and they're finally showing up on Mondays. They used to come in on Wednesdays, and I'm like,
I know you were busting my chops. You were like, Randie, this is Wednesday. I'm like, TikTok algorithms. They can't tell what day of the week it is. Apparently.
right? But no, they clearly heard the message because I do get them on Mondays now. I love them.
Thank you.
They're great. They make you stop and think, and you're right. It's nice to stop doom scrolling is what I call it, and listen to someone reflect on things that are pretty important.
And I'm not trying to sell you anything,
Hallelujah.
Be well. Take a deep breath, So I'm like, no one's ever going to listen to this. And, I was like, I don't know how much longer I'm going to do it. And people keep telling me they like them. So every week I come up with some.
Yeah, I think they get some decent traction. I mean,
they do. They're funny. Some have done thousands of likes. you
I
know.
know, that's great. I think they're great. I think you should keep doing them. Everybody expects it now,
I know the pressure, the pressure. Now,
right?
I ran anxiety groups for many years in a school, so I have a lot of material. If not, there's Jay Shetty. There's a whole bunch of people I could steal from.
Nice. Yeah, I think everyone could use a little Mindful Monday. So keep doing it for sure.
Yeah, start your week with a deep breath instead of being like panicked on what you're doing. You know.
It's nice to get someone else's insight on that kind of thing. And I think it really makes you stop and think about yourself. I have to say, like lately, the music industry in general gave me a decent amount of, there's just a lot of pressure, a lot of anxiety. You always want your songs to do well. And so once this music video and the movie came out, I kind of, I took a break from it and took a break from songwriting and from performing. And it, I feel like it was kind of good for me. It allowed me to focus more on my kids, to make
Mhm.
myself available for them. And it bettered our relationship. But, as any artist, probably experiences, you end up missing it. And, once if it's part of you, it's part of you. There's nothing you can do but go back to it when the time is right. But yeah,
Right. It's nothing we're going to walk away from. It's in our DNA, like to be an
amen.
artist, to write music. But I think it has, really immersed myself more into mindfulness. I have taken more time to define what I mean by being a success in the music business. And
Nice.
that really has, allowed me to kind of quiet my brain a little bit, you know, to be okay, with what I'm doing and not comparing myself to others, you
It's
know.
so hard in this industry to not compare yourself to others and to not, um, and to not obsess about, how many plays a day am I getting and this and that. And I will get, the coolest fan mail from people from this one website where my music is posted. And it's called Number One Music.
Oh,
And
I'm on that.
okay, cool. I
Yeah,
absolutely
thank you.
love the messages that I get from people on there. I respond to every single one of them. It's really cool and it's very encouraging. And it's nice that, there's an avenue where people actually listen to it and appreciate it enough to reach out to you.
Yeah, I get a lot of messages on there because there's one song, "The Dance," that's been like number one, I don't know, for weeks and weeks and weeks. And you get such, and the thing is the comments. There's people listening to it, and
Yeah.
it's always the most important thing, like somebody liked it and it resonated with them, and like this film, like so it resonated enough with this filmmaker to go, wow, let's make a project of it. That's the coolest thing.
Yeah, it was really neat. I mean, it was, and once they started submitting it to the film festivals, that kind of gave us a lot of validation as to its quality. The filming was amazing. The director did a fantastic job, and he edited the film together, so to speak. We were kind of like a three-team group. And they were very respectful of my opinion and how I wanted it to play out. And that was special too, because I felt like a part, I got to call myself a filmmaker in the midst of all of this, which was really neat. And it was really cool to go to a film festival and be the filmmaker at a film festival.
No, it's such a different, cool world, though. The filmmakers. Again, when I talk about success, we think of the big blockbusters, but there are some really great indie films out there.
There really are. And I think when you finally start to dive into that world, you see there's so much talent out there, but there's some really thoughtful films, and short films at that. I feel my attention span can handle a short film. Admittedly, I'm terrible at watching long movies. I will get up, I'll think of something else that I have to do. It ends up taking me like 2 days to watch a movie. So the short films I really liked.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Well, let's do one of the behind the scenes here. We have two of
Yeah.
them. Which one should we go with, the burrito or the heartbreak?
I feel like the burrito's kind of funny. The heartbreak, it probably explains the movie more, but let's do the burrito.
All right. All right. All right. This is a little bit, we're going to go a little bit behind the scenes. Again, we have a lot of people listening. So again, this is kind of interactive. We'd love to get your thoughts on what's going on, where you are in your part of the world. And right now we're going behind the scenes.
I have tons of great memories from shooting this music video.
Twinsies!
Funny story, I think my favorite story of all was that second day of shooting on Discovery Green, where it was mainly Tom and Leopoldine, just action shots of them on a date. Anyway, we were filming right by this taco truck. Somebody ran up to me and said, Melody, get in the taco truck because you're going to serve Tom and Leopoldine some food from there. And we think it'll be really cool in the music video. And I climbed aboard and they had a little kid on there just staring at me like, who is this lady and what is she doing in my parents' food truck? And so I served them elote from the other side and kind of laughed about it, giving glaring looks at him, and it was just a funny moment.
Oh, when you improv. Okay. We are on the ranch. We are brought to you by Blast Music 24/7, your one-stop for all indie artists. And apparently tonight, all things indie, even indie films tonight. We're exploring that genre, which is really, really cool. So, and what I'm really also excited about is Blast is really kind of expanding. And I believe if things are going right in the celestial atmosphere, we should be back on Facebook. I haven't been on there for quite a while, so this might be our first night where we're adding actually a few more places we're streaming. They were pretty picky for a while, so we got off, and now we're expanding back into that. So we're now on a couple more platforms, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and there's a Roku TV we go to, and then we have all our streaming platforms that for our listeners, like Indie Radio, my Indie Radio, Plow Zone, and all our streaming affiliates. Now we're up to about 15, I think. So cool things happening. Melody, that was too funny. Like just jumping on the taco truck.
I know I don't know whose idea it was to ask them if we could borrow their taco truck for the film, but it was funny and a little awkward. They were super nice and very accommodating, and Randie, the executive producer, even tried to pay them for the food that we borrowed, and they wouldn't take our money. I guess they enjoyed watching us act fools, filming, and it was just a lot of fun. I think in general there was a great ambiance and mood, and everybody was very professional, and it was just a really good time. It was cool to watch it play out.
Yeah, I know. I did one video in Cancun, and the first part, and so we didn't have a lot of pre-planning to do, so we just showed up at a location, and one bar kicked us out. So we had to go all the way across this resort complex and try to find another bar. And we did. And they were gracious. They were moving things and, we're trying to be in the video, washing cups and glasses and stuff.
That's too cool. I think it's great when people get excited about it and accommodate. And it makes for good footage.
It does. It does. You don't want people photobombing in the background. I mean, that's so not cool, people. Don't do that. But if you're in the background just doing something casually, you might actually make the cut, you know?
Absolutely, absolutely. Discovery Green was a cool place in Houston to film it because it's always bustling full of people, and it was just a very, natural atmosphere. And I guess they're kind of used to people taking pictures and filming stuff out and, around that area. So, yeah, we didn't attract too much attention. There was one little kid who started break dancing, and I think he was like 7. He was phenomenal. It was hilarious. He showed us all his dance moves, and I believe they got to be like in the background of a part of the film, him and his mom and brother. But I will not forget that. He cracked me up.
That's funny. Well, let's do one the other behind the scenes. That you said that one explains things a little bit better.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, let's go one more behind the scenes. The making of You Do You. Behind the Heartbreak. Here we go.
I hadn't written a song in quite some time, and You Do You was kind of an ode and a dedication to people that go through these difficult relationships. So You Do You is a love song that I wrote several years ago about a difficult relationship that I was having at the time. And I remember paging through my notebook, because I do keep a notebook of lines and poems that might someday become a song. And I was paging through my notebook. I really wanted to write a song about this relationship. I find it to be an outlet a lot of the time. And, out pop up the lines, sun rises, moon sets, days go by so slow. And I just continued on with that idea, so to speak, because when you do go through a challenging relationship, sometimes the days can go by slow, especially if you're dealing with heartbreak. I always hope that my music will touch someone, especially these emotional songs, in a way that creates an outlet for them. Even if it makes you cry, crying's a good thing. I always want someone to get something out of my songs, be them funny or sad or happy. This song was a difficult one to write because I was living the words at the time, but I also think that from a universal standpoint, that songs about breakup help people get over breakups. And one thing that I did love about this song was the fact that there was a glimmer of hope that things might work out, with the maybe I can still call you baby, because that's what I was really feeling at the time that I wrote it. So I hope that my listeners get that out of the song and enjoy the musicality of it as well. So many thanks to the hardships of some relationships, because often beautiful music can come out of it. And there's always a glimmer of hope that things might work out, which is kind of why that last line came about.
Okay, and we are back on the ranch. We are brought to you by Blast Music 24/7, your one stop for all indie music. If you're looking for new music, go to Blast Music 24/7. You're going to find some great stuff there. And we're about to really expand into our own magazine and curated playlists and jukeboxes and really cool stuff going on. And we are with Melody DeBraux, we're about to see her feature, her film. For the first time, we're showing a film on the ranch.
Cool. I like that I'm a pioneer on the ranch.
Yeah.
It's in essence a music video with a storyline ahead of it. But it turned into a great story. It kind of was a reflection of the song, and so I enjoyed watching it. Most of the people who watch it are like, I want to know what happens next, because it kind of just ends with the music video.
All right, guys, we're going to sit back and we are going to watch the movie that these people made from her song, You Do You. Okay, where was it filmed again?
It was filmed in Houston, Texas.
In Houston, Texas.
Woohoo!
All right, let's hear it for Houston. All right, Melody, here we go.
I got you something.
Okay.
Hey, wait, no, wait right here. It's a
Hey.
surprise.
Not looking.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready.
Okay, look.
Oh my god. Oh my god, it's perfect.
You like it?
Yes, thank you so much. I can't believe it. I just love it. It feels like I have everything I've ever wanted. Like, just right here. Like this is how we're supposed to be. Hold still.
What?
I want to capture this moment.
Hey, go.
You'll be fine.
Okay.
You'll be fine. Just look. Look over here. Ready? Perfect.
Cheers.
To us.
To us. Forever.
Forever. I'm gonna turn some music on.
Come on.
Babe, come on. They're waiting for us.
Can't find my lipstick.
Just put the red one on. It looks good on you.
I don't want to wear the red one.
You know how I hate being late. Why do you always do
Well,
this?
you know, maybe if you didn't tell me 10 minutes before you had to walk out the door, I could have been ready on time.
10 minutes? 10 minutes? We had these plans all week.
You had these plans all week. They were not on the calendar. The calendar that I've told you like 20 times about. I don't know how hard it is. You just have to go on your phone. You're on it all day. Just type in a few words.
You're the one on it all day. Are you kidding me?
I don't even have my phone on me right now. What are you talking about?
Well, it's because it's charging because the battery's dead because you've been on a lot.
You're one to talk.
Let's do this. You know how I hate to be late.
I know. I'm always the problem. I'm well aware.
Well, you said it.
What's wrong with us? We're in the same room, but it feels like we're 1,000 miles apart.
It's like we're just going through the motions. Are we even together anymore?
I don't even know what we are anymore. I can't even trust myself.
So what? What do? We just disappear out of each other's lives like none of this ever happened?
Maybe we go our separate ways. I don't know.
Ways? You say that like I know which way that is. We've been going in a circle over and over again. Which way is...
Exactly. We can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over again.
What? Is this how it really ends?
Maybe this is how it's supposed to be. Maybe this is an opportunity for you to find your way and for me to just do me.
Yeah. Yeah.
call you baby.
And we are back on the ranch. We are brought to you by Blast Music 24/7, your one stop for all indie artists. And if you're an indie Americana artist and you want to be on the ranch, well, just go to my website. You have to spell my name right, randieoneil.com/shows. And you could apply to be on the ranch just like Melody has like twice now, which is exciting. And this is our debut of being back on Facebook. Oh, Billy, where have you been? I'm filled with emotion. It's a very emotional. I agree with you, Billy. Very, very emotional.
Thank you. That's the point.
Yeah, very heartfelt.
It
And you,
is. It's a song that's very near and dear to me. And when I wrote it and started playing it for people, they said it was one of my best songs yet, as sad as it was.
and that little, like you said, that little bit of hope. You do you, and I'll do me. And maybe can we still call you baby? Like
Yeah, I think a lot.
your eyes
I
out.
think there's a decent amount of relationships that need a break, and I there's nothing wrong with missing someone and appreciating that relationship and realizing why it's important in your life.
Okay, we have to forgive Billy. He was out shoveling 28. He's out on Long Island. 28 inches of snow. They got
Oh my
walloped.
goodness, that's a lot of
Walloped.
snow.
I know. With Lehigh Valley here in Easton, we got off kind of easy. We only had about 8 inches. I guess there were
That's
2 more storms coming. But I was talking to my friends in Bergen County. They had the day off from work, and they had over 2 feet, and it was still coming down like a foot and a half, and it was still coming down like 2 inches an hour, and it was not stopping. So 28 inches. So.
That is crazy. We had one snow here in Tulsa, and yeah, they made such a big deal out of it. The meteorologists and said, "Oh my gosh, we're going to be snowed in, all weekend and through the week." And I think Tulsa got about 7 or 8 inches of snow. And yeah, I was at work on Monday.
You know what? That's a decent amount of snow, but for areas that don't get it so much and don't even own winter coats, like we in the north are just kind of laughing, like, welcome to our world, like.
Yes, it gets cold. It definitely gets cold in Oklahoma, but not near as cold as the Northeast, in my opinion. And it's already starting to warm up. It was a cold day today, but it's supposed to be high 60s later in the week. So I'm not complaining. I like that.
We're supposed to go to 40 and back down to freezing, another storm. It's like we were hitting minus temperatures last week. So
that is crazy. And then, I think about places like Houston where we filmed that music video and where I lived for 23 years. And, we can't even let it go down to 60 without freaking out. It's everybody's used to the warm weather. So when there's a freeze, it's like top story on the news.
Right. I know I'm ready to go back to Costa Rica, but
amen to that. I love Costa Rica. It's a beautiful place.
Love Costa Rica. I really do. Beautiful.
I'm a fan of Costa Rica, and I really like Puerto Rico too. I've been a couple times there, and I like that you don't need a passport to get there, and there's a lot of culture, and it's beautiful. The beaches are lovely, but yeah, Costa Rica was definitely a great memory going there and just taking it all in. And you're right, the beaches are amazing there.
Yeah. All right. So what are you working on now? Where do you go from here? Are you still taking a little bit of a break, or are you
I have been
in your
taking a
film?
break.
Or
I have been taking a break. I sang in a charity band for a while and was playing some solo gigs here and there. Really, my latest project has been with a girlfriend of mine who writes music, and I recorded a bunch of her songs. I recorded vocals for a few of her songs. So it was really neat to kind of delve into somebody else's creations and make these songs come to life. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was an interesting process, and it's kind of neat to sing somebody else's music, and record somebody else's music.
Yeah, that is cool.
It was a cool experience. It's the first time I've done that. I mean, I've recorded like big name covers, but never, never music that somebody else recently wrote and wanted me to do the vocals on. And her songs are great. So I hope to see her do a lot of great things with them. She's, worked for many years and then retired and decided that she wanted to follow her passion and write music. And I think it's so cool when people do that and, take the initiative and put in the time to record them. So, and it's great music. So I'm glad it's out there.
It's a different animal to sing someone else's songs. Co-writing it, you're making your own. You kind of know where it's going to go, the beats and stuff like that. But just throwing your voice into someone else's music.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. And it's nuts because sometimes you do have to like shorten phrases or sing things differently, or maybe, pop a melody that's a little different in as far as like arrangement goes, because what you learn and what they sing to you is, might not sound that good with your vocals. And, we came across, when I was recording it with the producer, came across some parts that it was like, I can't, I don't think I can sing that many words that quickly. So, maybe we remove a few words or sing a certain part out a little more. And, so then you got to check back with the songwriter, see if it's okay. But it was a neat experience. I love supporting other artists and what they want to do. And really lately, that's kind of what I've been doing, trying to mesh into the Tulsa music scene and meeting new artists and, listening to what's out there. And there's some great talent and some great music in this town.
There really, really is. Really is.
It's a fun place to get to know musicians, and it's been a fun place to play. So I definitely will, start to delve back into it, but really just, been enjoying the studio and recording and playing, the odd band gig here and there and the odd solo gig here and there, but just kind of taking a break from the hustle and bustle and doing it, 6 nights a week.
That's a lot.
It was. I used to play, I used to play probably at a minimum 3 or 4 nights a week. And it's hard. It's a tough thing to do. It's like an artist going on tour. I think the hard part about it was just, it can get a little, it can be taxing. It can get tiring. And you kind of, I don't want to say I lost the love for it, because I'll always have the love for it, but it got to a point where it felt like work.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to appreciate it and pick and choose my own venues and,
I found I've gotten a lot pickier with venues, and it's not about money. It's more about audience,
Absolutely. It's so important.
If I stuck to bars, I'd probably make more money, but nobody's listening. Like,
and you have to deal with drunk people, which isn't always a good time.
Yeah, they're not always nice drunks. Like,
there is a great place in town in Jinx, Oklahoma, called Maggie's Music Box, and it's a bar, but they have live music 7 days a week. And there are a ton of different artists that play. They do all kinds of music. They do everything from big bands to solo artists. I've played there a couple times, and it's neat because it's a bar, but people go there to listen to live music. So they really, appreciate it and listen, which is, nice. There are some venues like that here that And I think there's an appreciation for live music here that I'm excited about.
You find these venues, these little gems in the weirdest places. I was out in Pittsburgh and I was doing this bowling alley. I was booked there and I'm like, it was a rock and bowl night. And I'm like, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, no kidding.
But they were there bowling, but they were there because of the music. And almost everyone bowling would not have come out if there wasn't a band. Like, they just thought it was a cool idea. And they were all listening because I was, throwing out questions and doing prizes and stuff. And
That's so cool.
Arsenal Bowl, I would play there again in a heartbeat, because they were listen, like your Maggies. I love that.
What a neat idea. I think the most obscure place I ever played was a car wash. No joke. This guy had set up like a cafe within the car wash so that people could chill and have a meal. And he hired us to play live music there, my duo partner and I at the time, which was the most random place to play, but it was so much fun and people appreciated it. And,
What a great idea.
liked the entertainment while they got their cars detailed.
I would take my car there just because it has to get washed and fill that gap of time. Why not?
Oh yeah, I thought it was such a cool idea, and he had bought it from someone else, but I think it was his idea to put the cafe in there and have the live music, which I think was an added touch that just made it a really unique place.
Right. Well, Melody, thank you so much for coming back on the ranch and sharing your really cool project.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for showing everybody this movie. I'm excited about it and proud of it, and I'm excited that people can finally see it.
Yeah. So everyone, go to YouTube, find Melody, and like the film. It's just exciting. It's exciting. All those likes really do matter in this business, guys.
They do. And
you're up on the algorithms and silly things that we have to deal with. But it's all there and it all counts. I want to thank our listeners for hanging in there with us. I know we were showing a movie tonight, so some of our listeners, you had to kind of listen along, so I do appreciate that. And again, we're live every Monday. We go live at 7, and we're everywhere you want to be on Blast Music. So again, we'll check you out next week. Thank you so much, Melody, and we will catch you next week.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Randie.